This is Corey Jones with the Be Ready with Safety Man podcast. Join us every week for a new podcast. Follow us everywhere podcasts are played and on YouTube, Be Ready with Safety Man. This is Corey Jones. All right, we are live. Be Ready with Safety Man. Safety Man Security Consulting. Just getting our room all set up. Got to make sure we maintain as much social distance as we can. And we have hand sanitizer just to make sure. Right?
Yes.
So, welcome, Anthony. Tell our guests about what we're going to talk about today, brother.
Okay, so obviously there's a lot going on. The world's changing very quickly. And I thought today would be a good day to start discussing mentally surviving a quarantine.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are underprepared. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are now thrown into a situation that they weren't ready for. And so I just thought we could have the discussion today about some ideas of how to get through it.
Exactly.
Because we don't have an end date. It's not like, hey, you're trapped in for 2 days. We don't have an end date, so we don't know where this is going. So trying to keep the mentally stableness. Uh-oh.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Already awkward.
Oh, man. Keeping people mentally stable.
So that's one good thing right there is having a sense of humor.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much seriousness right now. You have to try to keep a sense of humor for sure. So I want to start with health, and staying healthy has got to be number one.
Exactly.
And what that means. And what does that mean to you, staying healthy? What is your what's your plan for staying home, staying healthy?
Well, I'm lucky and blessed because my wife's a personal trainer and her gym closed. So she's home all the time to give us workout tips. Can you see the joy in my face? But like you, I always stay fit.
Yeah.
I eat much more healthy since I married Dagmar. So, we eat a couple good meals a day. We have to have some snacks and some fun because we got 12 and 14-year-old sons. So we got to do both, right?
Yeah.
Give them something fun. But I also don't let them sit on a computer all day. They got to either go on a treadmill or go run around the block, and get some activity. And the same thing for us.
Yeah, I think one of the things we got to realize is that even though this is a person-to-person situation where if you're in a crowd of a bunch of people, that's obviously not something you want to be at, like at a gym or whatnot. Most gyms are now closed.
Yeah.
But you do need sunlight.
Yes.
So someone asked me, they said, am I going to get contagious from running? I said, if you're not running with other people, then no, you are fine. Yeah. Go run through the neighborhood, go run a trail, go hiking, get out and get some exercise. Make it a daily routine and saying, okay, every day at this time, I'm going to go out and get some sunlight. I think the recommendation is 20 to 30 minutes of sunlight a day.
Yeah.
So get out there. Even if you're walking, you're hiking, you're kayaking, it's getting nicer out there.
Yep.
Take advantage of that, right?
Walk the dogs, walk the kids. Everybody knows social distance now, right?
Yeah.
I remember just walking out to get my trash can. I see my neighbor across the street. He's getting his trash can. I said, we're far enough apart, right? He goes, yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
But again, that sense of humor,
Yeah, you got to have it and go with it. But, yeah, I mean, definitely the first thing you got to do is you got to have an exercise plan in place because it's going to be so easy for people to just sit around, eat like crap, watch movies all day, and then they're going to start getting depressed. It's like a downward cycle.
Yeah.
You got to have a routine,
Yes.
and you got to build exercise into that. And so the other part of that, Julie, we put up on early this week, Julie said, at-home workouts. And I actually use one of these. They have free apps online. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not promoting Beachbody, but that's the one I use. Yeah. It's like $4 a month. Mm-hmm. And they have hundreds of workouts on there. They're like 20-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour workouts, anything really. So I've been trying to do them over the last week. I've been doing a different one every day.
So that's a good one. My wife's gym, shameless plug, Orange Theory Fitness, OTF, they're doing the same thing because all their gyms are closed. Mm-hmm. So they're putting those workouts online also. They'll do live Facebooks and so forth, just kind of like we're doing now to keep you healthy. My chiropractor, he's a Beachbody certified coach, and he's doing the same thing. Good friend of mine, Andy Dick, Optimum Fitness, he's doing the same thing also. So
I mean, there's
keep
definitely
people healthy.
Yeah, there's definitely, and I even have my kids doing today. Because I'm trying to get them a little sunlight. Mm-hmm. But then also there's like these yoga programs, like kid yoga that you can do from YouTube and just put on the TV.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do some things like that to keep the kids, because they don't have recess time with other kids. So I'm trying to keep their minds, same thing as that I'm doing. Next part of that, eating clean, Yeah.
This
is going to be difficult for a lot of people.
It is. Because you buy a lot of snacks for the apocalypse, right? I finally got to break out those Twinkies. I didn't really break up. Just a side note: Twinkies do not last as long as the movies have you think. I firsthand 6 months, 8 months, maybe.
Well, it's got cream in it, so you got to figure that.
Yeah, it did. It was.
It's
not
got
good.
it. It can't last that long. Like like
Medex protein bars, however, last about 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah, so eating clean.
Yeah, my goal, my whole thing, the last the last week of everything I bought, I just tried not to buy junk. Mm-hmm. I bought a couple little snacks because I figure if we get really locked down, it's going to give us something to look forward to. Like,
yes,
we're going to have a little cheat day today, a little something. But you got to keep them out of your house because you're not doing anything. You're going to go through a whole bag of chips. You'll go through a whole bag of pretzels. You'll go through a whole bag of cookies. You know what I mean? Very easily.
Yeah. So we did that. And when you go to the supermarkets, everybody was saying that the meat was gone, the toilet paper was gone, the hand sanitizer was gone, but there's a lot of fruits and vegetables still there. So again, thank God that I married who I married, because she is really good at making sure that we eat clean, and have our 4 servings of vegetables a day and so forth. So yeah, eating fruit. Just mixing it in with your meals.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I bought a lot of canned good vegetables too. As much as I don't really love canned good vegetables, that and a lot of proteins like beans.
Yes.
High protein vegetables and things like that. I stocked up on as well because, the canned good stuff has many years of shelf life. So, I went with that. On that though, and this is where it starts getting dicey. Mm-hmm. As much as some people are going to say, oh, it's a joke right now about alcohol at home, but you got to limit the alcohol. I mean, there's going to be rise in domestics. There's going to be rise in problems. You're stuck inside,
Yeah.
It's
I remember that being a police officer, just when we would have big snowstorms, we would get we call them the what do we call them? Cabin fever.
Yeah.
It would set in, and people would start getting on each other's nerves. So yeah, you're right. Limit the alcohol if you're that type of person.
Yeah.
Again, something to look forward to, something to take the edge off after the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
You and your significant other want to have a little bit of downtime. Don't watch the news before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Get all your news in the daytime. I'm probably jumping ahead, but
no, that's fine.
Get all your news in the daytime, and then at night do something fun, do something exciting, binge watch a comedy, something like that, and then end the day on a positive note.
Yeah. So I'm not a drinker, but my recommendation would be like this. Just do what you normally would do. Mm-hmm. If Friday's your drinking night, you know what I mean? Or Thursday night you usually have a drink, just stick to the same plan.
Yeah.
Because if you find yourself that you're drinking every single day, you're going to go down that rabbit hole and it's just not going to get better. It's just going to go down and be worse. So I would say, don't take it out of the equation. Make it something, if you drink on the weekends, say, hey, I'm working, I'm doing all this during the week to get to that point, and
have
whatnot.
something to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not allowed to drink on a day you didn't work out. So you got to
work out. So put standards in place there, like how you're going to do it. Mary said, so the next part of this, staying social. So now this word social distances is a word that we all have in our brains now.
Yeah.
But we are a social being. Mm-hmm. We are developed that way. So Mary says, check in on the elderly and others. It doesn't have to be face to face. We live in a world now that we're lucky that we do have all these options that we can.
How many pieces of technology we're using right now?
There's
you got cameras and videos and everything, and just as easy as we're doing a Facebook Live, we can actually check in on our older relatives or anybody you want to check in with. You have people in nursing homes; they're on lockdown. They have strict protocols there about visiting them.
Yeah.
But you may be able to set it up if they have a smartphone. You can call them, but if they have a smartphone, you can actually see them. That'll definitely brighten their spirits.
Yeah, phone calls. I mean, you got Skype, you got FaceTime Live. You got so many ways. Even just making phone calls, going back to getting a conversation. Make that after dinner we make phone calls. Get into a routine of something. Because it's very easy to isolate yourself.
Yeah.
And just going on Facebook and commenting is not really...
That's not true connection, right?
Yeah, you're not really connecting there. You're just kind of throwing stuff out there, you know.
Ooh, I got 7 likes.
Yeah, really just, make a phone call, make a FaceTime. What's funny is one thing that I started doing, unbeknownst to the situation, I started about 2 months ago. At the beginning of the year is one of my ideas for the year. I started called Old Friends Friday. So on Friday, I would reach out to a random friend.
Right.
That I hadn't talked to in a long time, and I would just send them a message, hey, how are you doing? And so this is a time where, everyone's busy 95% of the time in our lives. Now this is a time where reach out to those old friends.
You got time now.
Yeah, make those connections again that you haven't seen in a while and said, I haven't seen you since college, man. How are you doing?
Yeah.
we worked together 10 years ago. Just reach out. Everyone can connect through Facebook, start a conversation. So I'm going to continue that trend on my own, reaching out to some older friends and just seeing what's going on.
Yeah, definitely do that. Definitely do that. I got a couple friends. They're a little nervous about what's going on, so they know that I follow this. They know that because I have a couple TV shows, I got to kind of stay up to date on it. So they call me, and I can feel myself actually. I don't want to say talking them off the ledge because it's not that serious, but just reducing their anxiety a little bit about this. So that's how that social connection can definitely come in there. Even if you're not talking about what's going on, because that's the first thing everybody talks about. How you doing? You got enough food? What's going on down there? But then, how are you actually doing? How's the kids? And then tell a joke. Try your jokes out. Every time we go to bed, Alexa, there's not an Alexa there. It's the first time I said Alexa like that.
And no one shows up,
nobody said anything. But try some jokes out. Dust off that comedy routine.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam, he's a former WWE guy. I'm like going way off the
know,
track here. But he wants to do stand-up comedy now. And he says, just so you guys know, I started drinking early for tonight's performance. March of 2019. That's one of his jokes. I'm like, just see what kind of feedback you get from it. But, just be silly. Just have fun.
Yeah, so that takes me to my next point here. I'm going to roll right into the next point.
Yeah.
The positive of this situation, okay? Here's the thing, right? Like you said, he's getting a comedy, he's getting some. Take advantage of this time in your life. I mean, I still have to work, unfortunately, but there's a lot of people out there that are not working.
Yeah.
Take advantage of this time. Learn a new skill. Start an online business. Go back to school online.
Yeah.
There's times right now that you have time. William said, learn to cook, learn to dance. These were two that he put in there.
Learn to dance.
Yeah,
I'm never going to be able to dance. I tried.
But, there's YouTube videos on literally everything now, including this podcast.
Yeah.
But you can learn that. So now's the time to do those things. And 2 months from now, when this is all clear, or a month from now, you don't want to be the person who said, man, I should have took advantage of that time.
Yeah. We're going to paint the kitchen and hallway.
Yeah, projects. That is my goal on the weekends, to get a couple projects done, because I'm like, oh man, when I think in my head it's gonna be a 2-day project, I'm like, I can't do it Saturday because I'm not gonna be able to finish it Sunday. So then I just keep putting it off.
Yeah.
Now I have time to do these projects on the weekends.
No excuses.
And no excuses. I can't go out playing poker. I can't go out doing these things that I was doing. So now I'm stuck there. So create those projects that you have, work on them, because especially some of those things will take a couple days to do.
Yeah.
It takes your mind off of this stuff for just a few days.
And just think of that endorphin when you're done. Mm-hmm. There's a brain doctor, Dr. Haberman, and he studies anxiety and how to reduce anxiety. And I know we were talking about this a little bit on a couple podcasts ago about first responder suicides and so forth. So this is another thing to reduce anxiety, is actually creating something where you can give yourself an endorphin rush. There's those online games like Candy Crush Saga are made to give you an endorphin rush every 7 seconds. A little sound, you won something, bling, bling, and it does all that. Well, he's saying that one way to reduce anxiety is, even if it's a really small thing on when, he's like, you know what, I'm going to go empty the dishwasher. And I was, instead of making the kids do it, I said, I'll go empty the dishwasher. And then I did it, and I was proud. I cleaned up the entire kitchen. There's not one dish, one fork. So when my wife gets home from work, she's going to be so happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's an endorphin rush it gave me, and hopefully she gets one when she comes home. You know what I mean? Even little victories like that.
Yeah.
So a actual project, something that she's been putting off. I got to clean out my garage.
Yeah,
that's another one.
That's a good. I need to do that too.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Now you're adding chores to my list. Now,
No, sorry.
But no, I have to. But see, these are the times that we can take advantage of this time.
Yeah.
Don't look at it as a negative. I've been trying to. It's very easy, and very it's realistic to be negative. But I think it's very. You can be very positive. There's a lot of positive things that can come from this time, and taking advantage of it. Sarah put in here from the social media post. Talk about your kids, how to clean, cook, and do laundry.
Yeah.
Teach them these things now, you know, because usually you're coming home, you're throwing dinner down, you're doing this, I'm running around, I'm trying to get this laundry done.
Yeah.
Hey, the kids are around now. Hey, come down here. I'm going to teach you how to do laundry today.
Exactly.
You're going to learn how to cook. You're going to learn how to do this today.
Yeah. All right. So here's my problem with that.
Uh-oh.
You know me as a fireman instructor and taser instructor. You've seen all that. Well, apparently, my instructional style doesn't really work well with kids when I started out as a lesson. So I have to sneak it in sideways. I'm like, hey, let's take a little bit of load off. So when you're done doing this, so I've been doing exactly what you said. Now they're learning how to wash individual dishes as opposed to stacking them in the dishwasher.
Okay.
They're learning how to check the dishwasher before they put dirty dishes in the clean dishwasher dishes.
Okay.
Clean their bathroom, clean up after themselves. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. That's definitely a good plan because, again, come out of it with a win.
Yes.
Make it a positive. Make it a zero fail mission.
Yeah, and so take not only for yourself, but take advantage of it for your kids too.
Yeah.
The homeschooling thing has become a challenge. A lot of kids are now being homeschooled. So parents, I think after this, parents are going to gain a lot more respect for their teacher. I know, I've always had respect for teachers, but I know that some parents are going to have a huge amount of respect of what teachers put up with
Yep,
every day
yep.
and what they go through. But that's teaching them new things, teaching them different ideas about stuff going on. This is your chance to do it. Let them learn stuff around the house.
Yep.
I put a list of like some other additional activities, just some things I brainstormed here. One of my personal goals this year was to read more books.
Okay.
So that was a positive. I've already read a book this past
What
week.
book?
It's called Armada. It's
Is that to do
a
with poker?
No, it is not a poker book. So that's part 2. Read more, but less poker books. It's like 90% poker books that I read. So I've been trying to branch out. It's a sci-fi book.
Okay.
But so I am trying to read more. That's one of my goals. So that I think a big one for activity is power down social media and electronics. Make a time frame during the day to say, you know what, these 2 hours are I'm book reading, I'm walking, I'm doing something. Phones down, right?
Yeah.
Because what's really your work's not calling you, pretty much.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah. So like what
I wish work would call me. I'm an independent contractor now.
Yeah, so work's not calling you, so maybe try to disconnect a little bit because I find myself too. I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm sure you are too, and it's addictive.
It is. You want to see the next thing. I'm watching my cable news channel, and it's the next thing. This has happened. This has happened. This has happened. Next thing you know, it's an hour later. So
Yeah.
that 2 hours is great, but you could maybe even break it up into short-term attainable goals. Half hour at a time. But at the end of the day, I got 2 hours of no screen time, no social media time, or whatever, and I actually accomplished something. So if you put all those things together, all right, for this half hour, I'm going to work out. This half hour, I'm going to start on the garage. Don't finish it the first day.
Yeah.
And this half hour, the kids we're going to learn some new activity, and then last half hour, we're going to spend that time, maybe using social media, but actually calling, friends, family, shut-ins, elderly people, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you've accomplished 4 things. You got 4 endorphin rushes, and you were checked out of getting bad news all day. You know what I mean?
Real quick. Hold on one second. Drop a little bit.
So again, this is the one thing with social media. We got to be prepared for all these types of things. We got a lot of cameras in here recording us. So if you have any questions, you can send them in. So while he's doing that, I'm going to take this time to talk about my business. This is called a Taser Pulse. Taser Pulse self-defense weapon. It's the same company that makes the self-defense weapons that all law enforcement agencies in New Jersey use. I'm an independent consultant with those tasers. I can teach you how to use it safely, legally, and morally, and appropriately. They're legal in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. But I do have to say this. Taser's website, you can go there, taser.com or axon.com. They're sold out. If you go to any online places, they won't ship them to New Jersey. And I have 5 in possession right now. So if you need them, SAFETYMAN.co, or call me 609-975-9275, or hit me up on this Facebook Live. Hit me up now because I only got 5. I only got 5.
So back to activities to help pass the time. Another one that I just talked to some of my family members about. They are apparently some of these movie companies are releasing some of these films early.
Yes.
So I was talking about let's do a weekly movie night. Just me, the kids, maybe 1 or 2 of my family members, and just doing, sit down. Hey, a new movie came out. Let's get the snacks. Let's make it like a movie night. We're all going to sit down and watch the movie together. Put the phones down, put the electronics down, and just have a little movie night. Another one that I do already, again, but break out the board games. Have a game night.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like an iPad game night, just like an old school
Actual board game.
Yeah, actual board game game night.
Cards or something like that.
Yeah, make it a game night every. So keeping a weekly, not only keeping a daily schedule, but plan a weekly schedule. Like every Wednesday night is game night. Every Thursday night is movie night. So it gives everyone a little bit to look forward to.
Yeah.
Going from going forward.
Yeah. So another good thing is if you're going to be on social media, I'm big on making sure people post positive stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started a thread today of post something positive because people are getting stressed out. They think that there's not going to be any food at the supermarket,
yeah.
there's not going to be anything else. I've been seeing pictures of people saying, I'm at the shop right in Delran and there's toilet paper 20 feet high. It's stacked all over the place. Somebody else just posted just before we started that they were at the Costco in Mount Laurel and there wasn't a long line and there was toilet paper as far as the eye could see and meat as far as
Okay.
I could see. It was like normal. And they've been saying on the news, supply chains are good. They were really disrupted this week because they've never really been hit like this before
Yeah.
across the entire country. You know, we've had regional snowstorms or
Mm-hmm.
regional events, a hurricane coming, so that would hit a small region of the United States. But this is hitting the entire United States at the same time. But they've assured our federal government that the supply chains are strong
That's good.
and they are good.
Yeah, I mean, so put positives out there. Like if you should try to definitely limit the time you're spending going to the stores or whatever. Just go for necessary things. I've been trying to
Yes.
cut down a lot of things that I really don't need to do anymore. So I cut all that out. But if you got to go and refill up the food store and you see, hey, they just restocked. I just went in and they restocked. Put a positive note. Hey,
Yeah.
you guys are gonna go. This is open right now. I saw this, or hey, I was looking for this.
Yep.
What's going on? So yeah, definitely positive things to keep posting.
And you can throw that out to your neighbors too. If you're or somebody who can't drive, an older person, if you're going to make that run, you can make one run and take care of everybody. People are going to look at you in line, think that you're hoarding, but let them know. Say, hey, I'm taking care of the 5 people on this one food run.
Yeah, and
You know,
yeah, so
so
put
you
it out.
limit the exposure.
And you don't have to even you just drop it on their porch. You don't
Yep,
even
you don't
have to touch. Leave it on the porch. Tell them they can leave it out there for 30 minutes. It's going to be okay, and it will
Yep.
kill hopefully whatever is there, and then they can bring it inside.
Yep, and they can Venmo, PayPal,
Yeah.
Apple Pay, Google Pay.
Yeah, so definitely that is definitely a good idea. If you are going to make a run, you got to go pick up your you definitely need some stuff. If you weren't prepared, ask around to some of your family members, neighbors. Hey, I'm going out, so you don't have to go out. You don't have to go out. I'll do it this time.
Yep.
And that limits the exposure and the contact for sure.
Definitely. I think this is going to make people really come together, in that aspect, and I'm glad that's going to be a positive thing, I think, out of this.
Yeah, I think there is some positives. Unfortunately, though, we have to touch on this.
Mm-hmm.
There is some negatives.
Clearly.
We have to be, Debbie said, beware of the scammers.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already been hearing about it. We got to really look out for each other because, right, whenever there's something like this, there's always an opportunist that says, you know what, I can do this, or I can scam this person. They look for these opportunities.
Yeah, it's a shame. I don't know how this happened, but when I was talking to somebody when you showed up today, good friend of mine. He said somebody called him, said he was a doctor, but it sounded exactly like me. So he figured it was just me playing a joke on him.
Okay.
So he just let it go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Corey. Okay. So about 2 minutes into it, he goes, I wasn't aware that there's any virus out there. What are you talking about? So then the guy, all incredulous, keeps going, and he's like, I don't know how long. So this guy was basically possibly going to try to scam him.
Yeah.
Getting emails saying that a loan that I applied for is ready, which I didn't apply for any loans. So yeah, be scrupulous. Elderly people too.
Yeah.
Definitely make sure that if they have more time in their hands, they have that cell phone. Make sure you check on them and stress that there are people that are scammed. I saw on Facebook. I haven't heard of any law enforcement sources saying that this is true, but that people are showing up at people's houses saying that they're with the township or the county or the health department wanting to do coronavirus tests.
Yeah, I've heard about the fake tests.
Yeah.
I heard they have confiscated some fake tests.
Yeah,
People trying to sell them to people. So just be wary. Just use your sixth sense, that spider sense. If it doesn't seem right,
It's probably not.
all police departments are still open. The amount of times they're going to come out might be decreasing. They're not going to come out for every little thing to try to stop some contact, but they're still up and running.
Yes.
So you can still call your local police department. You can still ask them, hey, is someone coming around from the township doing, verify. Hey, is someone calling for this? Has anyone else? And put it out there and then make it known, put a positive post. Hey, this is what happened to me today. I'm letting everyone else know. Just be careful,
So the time somebody could come to your house or call you would be if they're doing contact tracing. So we're going to get positive tests probably in every township in the state of New Jersey because we're testing more people. So as they get those positive tests, they're going to then do a contact trace. Who are you with? Who are you with? Who are you with? So if I come back positive tomorrow, they're going to reach out to you because you were in proximity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when somebody could potentially show up at your house, and they'll have the proper identification. They'll alert the local police department.
Yeah.
You can call them and trace and do that definitely before you let anybody
In your
home,
house, yeah.
You know, if you have a Ring video doorbell, you could probably handle it through your Ring video doorbell or through your lock screen door
Yeah,
or
just
something
ask
like
ask
that.
them what their name, ask them where they're from, and just tell them, hey, I'm gonna call the local police department. I just want to verify who you are. And you know,
Yes.
if they take off running, then that's probably a sign that they're not legit.
Probably
So,
not, yeah.
and your local police department will probably at least come out to see who they are, maybe check their tag or whatnot. So,
Yeah, but they'll be able to verify that.
yeah, for sure. Couple last things here. Heather says to make it important to make a schedule for your kids as well. So not only you, make sure you include your kids in that. And Bill said, explain to your kids what's going on.
Yes.
You know, but you know, obviously you don't want to scare them, you don't want to fear them, but you got to keep an honest conversation with them.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Age appropriate, right?
Yeah, you know, teach them some of the positives of this situation. It's a difficult time. I know for my youngest son, his birthday's coming up, so his birthday party was canceled. You know, it's difficult. You know,
Yeah.
that's what you look forward to as a kid. So I've been trying to think of that and trying to do fun things with them and whatnot, and explain to them that we're going to eventually have a birthday party, and
Yeah.
you know, but you got to keep it honest
He
with
may
your
be
kid.
21 at the time, but he's going to have a
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah, he will. Yeah, he will have
All
one
right, so that joke wasn't funny. He didn't laugh.
eventually.
That joke had a flat curve. I'm looking for a sharp.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm trying all.
Flattening the curve
Yeah,
here.
I flattened the curve too soon on that one.
Um,
I could do this all day. He's reading notes.
this turned into a bad joke comedy
Yeah.
at Dad Hour. Dad comedy jokes.
Oh, bad dad comedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, there we go. We could have a whole
I
session.
love
of it.
that. Yeah, I think we should end this podcast and do a different one if we're going to do that. But hopefully you guys are laughing and rolling your eyes, but you're not thinking about, all the stuff that's going on out there.
Yeah, find some good material out there. There's definitely probably a lot of good stuff to listen to.
Yeah.
I think so. Just to wrap it up a little bit, I've been hearing, the political side of things and this kind. I'm looking at it as a positive. I'm gonna hope that the world's gonna come more combined, work better together on things after this incident.
Yeah, I believe so.
The politics, this political party's yelling at this political party. I think a lot of people are seeing through that, and they're just saying, listen, we need to work together.
Yeah, you got to on this one.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping that the positive of this is that countries align and work together. More money is funded instead of putting it into crap. It's being research, development, scientists. We start putting money into doctors and scientists. The smartest people that are out there that are 10 times smarter than us, like we should be investing in them.
5 times smarter than me. 10
Five,
times smarter
10,
than me.
yeah. So, and
I've had no alcohol today.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Did you work out?
Yes.
Okay, so you can have one later. You can have one later.
Thank one.
Well, I don't know what your norm is, so. Eileen said, the last one we have here, Eileen said, hopefully we understand what we took for granted.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. That's a good
I
one.
think people are really going to, after a week, 2 weeks go by of this thing, I think people are going to really, when we get out of this, people are going to take those things for granted, Instead of complaining that they had to wait, 10 minutes to get to the checkout line, instead of now they're waiting an hour or 2 hours at some places, take these, hey, you have food available. We don't have to go hunt for food,
Right.
Like you go to a store and you just pick it up off a shelf and yeah, you got to wait 5 minutes to check it out. But,
Yeah.
I think we're going to learn to take those things that we took for granted.
Yeah,
know?
and actually embrace them more. That's one of the lessons. So you said talk to your kids about it. It's one of the lessons, thought processes that I want to instill on them is that we all, myself included, take all these things for granted.
Yeah.
Leaving a little bit extra food on the plate after you're done eating is negative. We can't throw away because it could turn to that. Not likely, but you never know. And I want them to understand, like you said, we take all these things for granted. You go to your friend's house, go outside, go to sports, and all this stuff is canceled now.
Yeah, taking that life for granted that we
Yeah.
had. So I just last thing, I'm wearing the shirt, Barry. This is from it's a city in southern Italy. My family is over there. They are all quarantined right now, so my prayers are obviously with them as
All of our
well.
prayers are with them.
So, but they're fighting strong. They're the same thing, as us. They're same thing. They're trying to keep it lighthearted. I see a lot of funny memes. They're out playing music. They're doing DJ.
Are they actually doing that?
Yeah.
Playing
So my
music?
cousin actually posted a video of him playing guitar, and then my other cousin posted a video of him like DJing one night in his like little little street area where
Right.
he's at. So yeah, they're doing something. you become creative when you're forced to become creative.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like the pass the time. So that's they're taking it to the next level of creativity. So my prayers are with them, and we're hoping for the best and everything.
Indeed.
So.
What
But
town? Barry is the name of the
so
town?
Bari's the name of the city. They're
Uh-huh.
from Gravina, which is southern Italy. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it'd be like Philadelphia to a small town. That's pretty
Yep.
much like how it's connected. So
Got it.
be like the same
Got
distance.
it.
So, but yeah, that's all I got. Just keeping it positive, keeping a strong mindset, keeping it healthy, keeping a schedule. I think that's the big one. Keeping busy.
Yep.
If you're watching 6-8 hours of Netflix a day and you're just on social media the whole time, looking at negative posts and just fear, living in fear,
Yeah.
your mind's gonna be destroyed in a
Yeah,
week.
you're right. You're right.
So
Yeah, like, it's funny how this dovetails. We didn't expect this when we were talking about our last podcast. You know what I mean?
it's funny. A couple of our podcasts have now caught up to speed here of
Yeah.
things we've been talking
talk
about.
about prepping and bug out bags and all those different things. First responders, nurses, doctors, all those people on the front line. Hats off to you. Our prayers are with you, and definitely, obviously everybody knows that I was a police officer for 25 years. I remember going through SARS. I remember going when Ebola was. We thought it was going to potentially come to the United States. We had one person come back, and they actually did save that person. So I understand that fear. Protect the law enforcement officers and first responders. When you call 911, make sure you let them know exactly what the problem is, where the problem is, and if anyone inside has any potential symptoms of corona or any other communicable disease, so they can respond. And just understand that if the officers or first responders show up or are practicing social distance, they're not being rude. That's just
Yeah.
what they're trained to do, is to keep everybody away. It's going to look a little bit different. People are going to be a little bit more to the point, and try to get those calls for service resolved appropriately and quickly.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if you're speaking to a police officer and he keeps his glass up on his car door. Like, you can still talk through glass. So he's not going to be being rude, but there's going to be different. Or he might talk through your window and tell you, keep the door shut. I'll talk to you through the door.
Exactly.
So there's going to be some weird things.
Yeah.
But
And it's protecting you too, because
Yeah.
we're out, law enforcement is out touching 10, 20, 30, interacting 10, 20, 30 people a day. So we don't want to bring anything to you. So
Yeah.
just look at it. When I help train police officers, I train it to both ways, to help not give it to you.
So, all right. Well,
Yeah.
another good podcast, and I'm sure a lot more stuff's going to come out. So we will try to share as much information we can with everyone, any ideas we have, and we'll keep posting online. So when you guys have ideas, we like to keep the conversation going. So,
Yep.
all right.
Be ready with Safety Man, safetyman.co.
All right. I'm going to end this.
All right. Be safe, everybody. Bottom right.
All right. So let's just record our bumper here,
Yep.
and then I can shut down this video.
I'll stop. Leave it. You want me to leave it on there?
Yeah, because
Okay.
he could just cut and
Okay.
paste it from there and then rip it. So
Do you know what you want to say?
let's just say something along the lines of
All those people watched?
yeah, pretty good amount. Looks like
Wow.
yeah, so that's good.
All right. He's going to be laughing right now.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks for listening to this podcast. I'm Corey Jones. Be ready with Safety Man, safetyman.co on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere podcasts can be heard. And I'm here with my buddy.
So I'm Anthony Scala. You can check us out on Twitter. So that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us real fast. You can check me out at Ida Hoagie. And Corey, what's your Twitter handle?
SafetymanCO on Twitter.
And do us a favor, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out all the podcasts. And comment below. We'd love to hear from you and give us your opinions. Thank you very much.
All right, be ready, be safe.